Dory Monson.
On News Talk 97.3, Cairo FM.
There's a bit of a scandal that's been brewing with the company that installs and administers the red light camera programs all around here. American Traffic Solutions in Scottsdale, Arizona. The Everett Herald earlier this week brilliantly exposed that a vice president for American Traffic Solutions was posing as a local citizen and putting comments in the Herald after every story that they wrote about red light cameras. And this fake commenter, W. Howard, would just offer his unabashed and unrelenting support for red light cameras. And so in the wake of that, I got another executive at ATS, Charles Torito, their vice president of communications, on the show yesterday to talk about that issue.
Moving forward, you can expect that everything that ATS does with regards to those types of activities and does from a corporate perspective will be done honestly and openly.
Okay. So he said, this was an isolated incident, and we've suspended the guy, and we're going to do everything honestly and openly. But then I nailed him on a couple of other issues, including the fact that his company has been using proxy servers to anonymously register pro red light camera websites all around the country in all these markets where ATS either has or is seeking contracts.
There was never any intent to deceive with wrong on red.com, and in fact, had anyone contacted us about it, which they eventually did, we took full responsibility for that site. As I said, we will always engage those who are opposed to red light safety cameras and provide information about the cameras.
So why, first of all, was there anything on the website that you posted, wrongonred.org, that referenced or identified that ATS was behind that website?
There was nothing on wrongonred.com that identified who posted that website.
Well, but that's not what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you about the one that you posted. Okay, so again, why wouldn't he put his company's name anywhere on there? And what that reference is, was in Missouri, where a guy started a website, wrongonred.com, that was against the traffic cameras, and then ATS, the company that contracts with all our government agencies, they swiped the domain name wrongonred.org, and but they don't say that ATS was behind it. And the guy who put together wrongonred.com in Missouri, Matt Hay, joins me live here on News Talk 97.3 Cairo FM. Hey, Matt, great to talk to you this afternoon.
Hey, Dory, great to be on.
Well, I wrote about this on my blog, Matt, a couple of nights ago, because I just find it really disturbing when government colludes with a big corporation like American Traffic Solutions to try to get as much of our money as possible. Tell me about your experience with ATS there in Missouri.
Sure, no problem. And I think it was either Patrick Henry or Rooster Cogburn that said nobody will lie to you quicker than the state or a railroad much faster than a man. And that's certainly true. My experience with ATS, I am actually a former councilman from a little city in Missouri called Arnold. We've got about 20,000 people. We were the first city in the state of Missouri that they put these red light cameras in, and they went in back in 2005. And to be honest, my political antennas really weren't up in 2005, and I wasn't paying attention. But after I started seeing some of the things they did, I actually ran for council. I was elected and did everything I could to bring the cameras down. Cost them a whole lot of money, but they eventually, after contributing about $25,000 to various local politicians' campaigns and races that people maybe get $1,000 or $2,000 a piece, they were able to get me voted off the council. But
okay.
But they've had a long history of spending a lot of money. But as part of that, what I had done is I had started a group called Wrong on Red to kind of, over the time I was on the council, kind of consolidate some of the information and primary sources that I've come across as, part of my ability as a councilman to, access some of those documents and make sure they get put out in the public domain.
Okay, and so you have this information website, and then ATS gets the very similarly named wrongonred.org, but they didn't identify themselves anywhere, and they went to great lengths to hide that they were behind it, didn't they?
Oh, most definitely. The only way, we were actually even tipped off to the fact that the site existed was they had posted something on their official Facebook stream about calling me out individually by name, and I think it was like my merry band of miscreants or something like that. They don't want you to go to this site, and then they listed the website. So we had, screen captured that. Well, needless to say, about 3 hours later, it was deleted from their Facebook account, the official ATS Facebook account. So we started, digging into it, and they denied it. And then one of the journalists here finally called and called them out on it and said, hey, all these videos on these sites, proprietary videos that are only accessible basically by those individual municipalities where the video was taken, or American Traffic Solutions. So do you want to tell us the true story or not? And that was when Charlie finally admitted to it after he was presented with the Facebook posting saying, you guys know about this site, now explain what happened.
So, did you hear my interview with him yesterday?
I did.
Okay, because he early in the interview says that his company's transparent, that they have nothing to hide, that they want to have open and honest communication, and yet their vice president is posing as a local citizen to comment in newspapers here, and it looks to me all around the country they do that. They start these websites to support red light cameras through proxy servers to anonymously register them. They don't put their name anywhere on the website. Do you think that their actions have been consistent with their public pledge to do everything in a transparent fashion?
Oh, most definitely not. And then in your interview yesterday, he tried to play it off that, we registered it through GoDaddy.com. Well, that's true, but you have to pay extra. It's a premium service to be able to use their domain by proxy service, which is basically the URL anonymizer, the registrant that, so people don't know who's actually hosting that website. You have to proactively do it. It's not something that just happened as part of their regular service, and they didn't denote the fact that it was their website anywhere on the website. But they've got another interesting thing going called the National Coalition for Safer Roads. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this out in Washington, but in Missouri, red light camera bans were a big thing in our legislative session that just ended. We were able to force them to spend probably about $4 million worth of advertising time running these TV commercials by a group called National Coalition of Safer Roads, and then you start tracing the coalition back, and the guy that formed it is a guy that's actually the head of Storm King Strategies, who also worked with American Traffic Solutions. So it's like all these groups are tied together.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what's so disturbing. You've worked in local government. When government colludes with a sleazy company, and I've become convinced through my research that ATS is a sleazy company. People are always screaming about transparency of government, but here their government's in bed with a sleazy corporation that is anything but transparent and is using really devious methods to try to insidiously get out their message without people knowing that it's them putting out the message. I can't believe that so many local jurisdictions have chosen to screw over their citizens and use this private company to do it.
Well, it's all about the money, and you have to keep in mind that ATS is a privately held company, so it's not publicly traded anywhere, and they don't have to file their financial statements. But over a third of American Traffic Solutions is owned by Goldman Sachs. If you want to talk about, government-private partnerships, and screwing over the American people, I don't know that there's, a better example than that of the U.S. government's relationship with Goldman Sachs, even on the national level.
Yeah. Well, I just, I'm doing everything I can to make sure my listeners know exactly what their local cities are doing here and who they're doing it with, because this is just, it's nothing but a money grab. It has nothing to do with making roads safer, and it's a gigantic transfer of millions of dollars from the citizens to the government and this one private company, and this has to stop. This is absolutely outrageous. All right, hey, Matt, I appreciate you taking the time and sharing your Missouri experience with them. We'll stay on it on our end.
I appreciate it, Dory. I appreciate you getting the message out.
Okay. All right, Matt, you too. Thanks. Matt Hayes, the founder of WrongOnRed.com. All right, coming up next on the Dory Monson Show, the mayor's new bike Nazi.